Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Thursday and it's a Magic News. We moved the Magic News from Tuesday to Thursday this week just because we wanted to do a video for the launch of Your Round by myself and Mark Bennett and MB Magic. If you didn't see that video on Tuesday, you can go and check it out. But today, I'm back with the Magic News. This is where I recap everything that's happened over the course of the week and basically bring to you the latest news in the Magic community. There's a lot of stuff going on at the moment, which is kind of unusual because normally you kind of have a post-Blackpool lull, but there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of tricks being released. So without further ado, we are going to get straight into this right now. And I do want to say to you, if you've got any Magic news that you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments of this video and I will talk about it next week. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is this week's Magic News. Okay, so first of all, big news when it comes to the Magic Circle Convention. So the Magic Circle Convention is taking place on the 22nd of June at the Magic Circle headquarters, and the lineup is incredible. They have, I think, probably the best lineup they've had since the convention started. There's a lot of dealers for you to come and watch as well. It's probably the best one-day convention in the UK, in my opinion. It takes place in the Magic Circle headquarters. You get to have a look around the Magic Circle headquarters. All the lectures and the performances are on the main stage, and this year you got a bunch of stuff going on. So the Magic Circle Convention, the big news is that just been announced, two names that have just been announced. Now the first name is an absolute legend in the Magic community, and I do not say those words lightly. I'm talking about Simon Drake, who is going to be interviewed live on stage by Chris Harding. And if you don't know who Simon Drake was, he's most well known for The Secret Cabaret, but I mean, he has done it all, been there, bought the t-shirt, and he is responsible, or the reason why a lot of people do the style of magic that they do. Simon Drake doesn't really go to conventions, doesn't really appear at conventions very often, so having Simon Drake being interviewed by Chris Harding, I think that is going to be a big thing for anybody that's coming along. Also, the other name that's been announced is, I think most people would say that this person is probably the greatest living sleight of hand artist in the world today. I am, of course, talking about Guy Hollingsworth. Guy Hollingsworth, who has made his name by performing some absolutely beautiful magic. I think when I first got into magic, everybody was talking about a lot of the stuff that Guy Hollingsworth does. If you've ever read Drawing Room Deceptions, you'll know how amazing Guy is. Well, he is on the bill. So those are the two names that have been added, along with Robin DeVille, who won the one competition at Blackpool this year, Mark Paul, probably the greatest living mentalist in the world today, Topaz. I mean, what a lineup, right? Now, prices are £70 if you're a member of the Magic Circle, £90 if you're a non-member of the Magic Circle, and £120 if you want a VIP ticket. So tickets are going quickly. I think there's less than 10 VIP tickets left. But if you would like to, come along to the Magic Circle Convention, both myself, Ryland, and Matt will be there. 22nd of June. Check it out. Okay, so another little bit of news is that Sean Taylor, who is an Australian magician and, based in Australia, and is an amazing magician, mentalist, been there, bought the t-shirts. I remember seeing Sean lecture many, many years ago at an IBN convention. But Sean Taylor is doing a mini lecture tour of Europe, and he's doing 6 dates in the UK. He's going to be at the Magic Circle, he's going to be at Cardiff, Coventry, Wolverhampton, and Cambridge. So 5 dates. Magic Circle, Cardiff, Coventry, Wolverhampton, and Cambridge. So if you would like to see Sean Taylor, and it's rare to actually get to see him lecture over here in the UK, and you're anywhere near those locations in the UK, then go and check out the lecture. I can highly recommend going and checking out Sean Taylor's lecture. He is phenomenal. I do want to mention to you, if you don't follow Nemid Phoenix's channel, Magician Levels Up, he's now just released episode 4, and honestly, I think it's one of the best things on YouTube for the moment, especially if you're a magician wanting to level up and you're following along with Nemid's journey. What he's doing, I think, is very motivational, very inspirational, and I just want to say on Monday's episode, he interviewed me about what he should do in order to market his business. He was like, right, I know nothing, I do nothing, what do I need to do to start marketing my business and start getting gigs? And I literally in I think 20-25 minutes, I literally laid out exactly what you need to do. If you've got no work, if you've got no gigs, if you've got no means of getting gigs, I literally laid out a step-by-step plan, a blueprint of what you need to do. And honestly, I think it's one of the best interviews I've ever done, and it's on his YouTube channel. So if you want to go and check out my interview with Nemid and you want to see what I actually told him about what he needs to do in order to level up and get more gigs, then you can go check it out on the latest episode of Magician Levels Up. And while you're there, subscribe to his channel. And also, he's got a Facebook group called Magicians Level Up as well, where there's a load of magicians that watch the YouTube channel that are kind of being inspired by Nemid's journey, and they're sharing their own goals as well. So yeah, Magician Levels Up, Nemid Phoenix, go check it out. And it's a really good YouTube channel. I can highly recommend it. Talking about other people's YouTube channels, if you missed it, and looking at the views, I don't think many people did, I interviewed David Leaden from Unbiased Magic Reviews, and as far as I'm concerned, and as far as David's concerned, everything to do with me and him and the back and forth has been put to an end. In fact, I found out that David's quite a nice guy, and we've got a lot in common. I think I'll be chatting to David again in the future at some point. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say it right here publicly. And if David's watching this, or if somebody knows David and he's watching this, I'd love to collab on something with him in the future. I really would. I think that you know, what we've done is we've made chicken salad out of chicken shit, and I think that's what the magic community should be about. I think it should be more positive. You know, let's not shy away from controversial topics, absolutely, but let's see if we can spread the love. Right. That seems like an interesting segue into this next piece of news, and in all honesty, I ummed and ahed over to whether to mention this on this particular video, because I am trying to be Mr. Positivity on this channel, but at the same time, this is a news channel, so I need to objectively report anything that's happening in the magic community. And if I don't objectively report anything that's happening in the magic community, then I would very much be considered biased, right? So I think we need to talk about Alex Lodge. And if you don't know who Alex Lodge is, Alex Lodge has been notorious in the magic community over here in the UK for many, many years. He was, you know, he's had a great career. Let's not make no bones about it. He's had a great career. He has appeared on television. He's, you know, performed an illusion act at a very high level. He's performed on ships. He's performed at holiday parks. He's, you know, he's been a demonstrator at Hamleys. He's been there, bought the t-shirt. He's done an awful lot and changed his style, changed his appearance, changed his look over the last few decades. But there's no question that Alex kind of likes controversy. I remember while I was kind of out the magic community for a while, I remember him posting on Facebook saying he was turning up to the Blackpool Magic Convention with a gun. I remember that a few years ago. And he's made questionable decisions in terms of television appearances. There was a thing with the heads off illusion from a few years ago that you know, kind of got picked up by various different mainstream media that wasn't very good. But you know, he's soldiered on. I actually did an interview with Alex Lodge on my channel a few years ago. I think about 3 years ago, I did an interview with Alex Lodge, and I actually kind of addressed a lot of the past with him and talked to him about it. And he said, hey, he's a new guy, he's moving forward, things have changed. And while I was in America, I didn't really see much of what was going on because I was in America, but I found out about it sort of post coming back to the UK. But there were a couple of strange videos that went up from Alex on his socials while I was over in America. And the first video was a video of various different clips of Britain's Got Talent, including a picture of Russ Stevens, and it had the Jim'll Fix It music playing over the background along with the Jim'll Fix It logo. And for anybody that doesn't know who Jimmy Savile is in the UK, Google it. I'm not going to go into that on this video. But obviously putting a video up with, you know, the person who you know, has single-handedly changed the perception of magic in the UK, Russ Stevens, when it comes to Britain's Got Talent, and then putting a picture up of some famous BGT kids along with the Jimmy Savile logo, that's just despicable. And then there was a second video that went up while I was away in America, or a second post by Rodney James Piper. Now, if you don't know who Rodney James Piper is, Rodney James Piper is a phenomenal magician, businessman, somebody who's on the council in the Magic Circle. He has been very, very successful in business. He has, revolutionized, and probably Rodney, along with Mark Bennett, are the two people in the UK that have trained and been responsible for leveling up more magicians in the UK than ever before. He gives a lot of opportunities for young magicians to come over to the House of Secrets in Salou and really kind of hone their craft as part of the House of Illusion, which is his venue in Spain. Alex Lodge has actually been in the House of Illusion as one of the cast members many years ago. And it's not, obviously we all know Harry Merlin Piper. Harry Merlin Piper, the current Young Magician of the Year, Magic Circle Young Magician of the Year, the current, is representing England in the World Championships in FISM, the youngest person to ever represent England. The guy is a prodigy, he really is. And, he's Rodney's son and a huge inspiration for young magicians all over the world. Well, Rodney posted on Facebook publicly that Alex Lodge tried to blackmail Rodney. He tried to blackmail him because there was a picture that went up of Harry drinking what looked like orange juice out of a wine glass and saying, hey, it's not a good look having the Magic Circle Young Magician of the Year drinking alcohol. And, if I don't get a big barrel of cash, I'm going to be putting this everywhere and you're going to be ruined. So Rodney just posted it on Facebook and said, hey, this guy's an idiot. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to blackmail me. It's orange juice. He's a prick. Do your worst, right? So that all went on. And then when I came back to the UK a few days ago, if anybody saw my post on Facebook, another video went up by Alex Lodge on his Facebook page. Now, I'm not friends with Alex Lodge for a variety of different reasons. So we're not connected on Facebook, and I'm not going to go into what those reasons are. But I'm not connected with Alex. And another video went up. And it was pictures of a few different BGT acts with the Jim Will Fix It logo, pictures of Rodney Piper, pictures of Russ Stevens, and a picture of Ryland, a picture of my son from Britain's Got Talent. And so I put a post on Facebook immediately, and I said, when there's a video that goes up of my son in a video, a picture of my son in a video, along with a picture of the Jim Will Fix It logo, that's when we've got a serious problem. And I said to Alex, I said, you've got 12 hours to take this down. And if you don't, I'm not going to, you'll find out what happens next. Because where I come from, that's serious. That is really, really serious. That's ridiculous that the guy thinks it's okay to put a picture of my son on the same video as a Jim Will Fix It logo. Who the hell does he think it is? So he went onto my post and said, sorry, I'm taking it down now. And then started chatting crap about Russ Stevens. And look, here's the thing. I'm bringing this up because it's news, but if you want my opinion on this, and Alex, if you're watching this, I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what you're doing here. And I'm going to keep it nice and succinct. And I'm going to tell you, you need help because I think you're mentally ill. Because reading between the lines, I think you're trying to infer that there's something going on with Russ Stevens and the BGT kids. Well, let me tell you, as the father of somebody who's been on Britain's Got Talent at the age of 9, and as the father of someone who was through that whole process with Russ Stevens, right from the very beginning, right from training Ryland to do the act, right through to the end of the semi-finals, I was with Russ Stevens the entire step of the way. I will tell you that you have absolutely no freaking clue what you are talking about. Absolutely no clue at all. You are not in that world. As much as you would like to be, you're not in that world. It probably kind of really gets to you, doesn't it, Alex, that there's people like Jasper Cherry, people like Killian O'Connor, people like Ryland, people that have achieved more success at a very young age than you will ever do. It's just fact, man. I mean, look, let's face it. What you're doing right now, what you're doing, what are you doing? What are you doing at any level? What is happening in your career? Because as far as I can see, this comes from a point of jealousy. that these kids have achieved more than you will ever achieve, and now you're kind of, I don't know, what's the words we're looking for? Washed up, Alex? I think that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for the fact that you had a bit of a career at one point, and then through a variety of decisions that you made, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, decisions that you made, you're washed up, man. It's as simple as that. But to take that resentment and that jealousy and that animosity and to throw it back at Russ Stevens is ridiculous. You realize that there were chaperones with Ryland every single step of the way. You realize that Russ Stevens has done more in this industry to help magic in one day than you will do in your entire life. Because the difference is, Russ is all about magic. Everything that he does, whether it be Britain's Got Talent, whether it be the Blackpool Magic Convention, whatever it is, he wants magic to improve. He wants magic to get better. He wants magic to be seen in such a much better light. And all you care about is yourself. That's your motivation to do anything, because you care about yourself. Russ Stevens cares about magic as a whole, and I have been through that journey with him. And look, I'll be the first to say, Russ is very, very direct, and he will openly say to any young magician that he works with, if you want to take this journey, if you want to go on national television, then you're going to have to understand that it's going to be at a certain level, and he's going to make sure that they get to that level. Now, that doesn't mean anything. It just means that he's going to push them, but no harder than that they want to be pushed. Absolutely not. Ryland wouldn't be where he is without Russ Stevens. Killian O'Connor wouldn't be where he is without Russ Stevens. Izzy Simpson wouldn't have had the opportunities she had without Russ Stevens. Ella Rose wouldn't have had the opportunities she had without Russ Stevens. The list goes on and on and on. And you need to have a quiet word with yourself. If I were you, I would take yourself off social media. If I were you, I would get help. I seriously would get help, because posting videos online of somebody else's child with the Jim will Fix It logo, I'm annoyed just by that, and there's no implication on me. But Russ, if I was Russ, I wouldn't be sitting in my house. I wouldn't be, that this would be dealt with in a completely, entirely different way, Alex. You have crossed the line and you have no idea what you're talking about. And for you to post on social media again and again, I know that, I know that there's certain factions and certain people that would be more than happy to take legal action against you. And I would not blame them for a second. From my point of view, I'm telling you right now to never, and I mean ever, put a picture of my kid on any social media platform that you have anything to do with. Do you understand? I'm being very clear and I'm being very direct. I'm not shouting, I'm not getting angry, but I'm telling you right now, if I see another video of my son that you've made in relation to absolutely anything at all, then you won't hear from me again, but you'll know exactly what's coming. And that is not a threat. That is not a threat. That is a promise. You need to get help. You need to get help, and you need to stop targeting people that are actually making a difference in this industry. The hilarious thing is you're targeting people like Russell, you're targeting people like Russ Stevens and Rodney James Piper, who on their worst day, if they were having the worst day of their lives, if everything was going wrong, they have done more for this industry on that day than you will do in your entire life. Stop being so selfish. Stop being so jealous. Stop being so resentful. Stop trying to hurt people, and instead get help and realize that what you're doing is wrong. And honestly, at some point soon, it's going to bite you in the ass. That's all I've got to say about that. On a brighter note, I think Jack Rhodes is bullshitting the entire magic community. There you go, I said it. So, if you watch the latest episode of Britain's Got Talent, and by the way, my hat's off to you, anybody who's been involved in Britain's Got Talent this year, Russ Stevens, I'm looking at you. Dear Lord, oh my God, this is the year for magic. Anyway, you saw the hacker. The hacker was a red leather clad magician who basically switched roles with Simon Cowell on the latest audition. Got Simon up to the front, sat in Simon's desk, and judged Simon as Simon did magic for the audience, and then gave Simon the golden buzzer. I think that means that the hacker gets golden buzzer. I'm not 100% sure. It was a fantastic, really well constructed video. Audition. It was really great. There was some serious, really funny moments of comedy when the voice changer changed on the mask and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's a mask guy, and you know what? A lot of people are saying it's Jack Rhodes, and Jack posted a video on his YouTube channel saying it's got nothing to do with me. He's offended that the hacker has, people are saying that he's the hacker. He's got nothing to do with it. He would never do anything like that. That's ridiculous. Dude, it's you. It's got to be you. I'm 100% confident it's you. And I am all in 100%. For me, Jack Rhodes is the BGT magician of the millennium, as far as I'm concerned. He's my favorite act. I really wish he had won. He didn't, but he did phenomenally well. He really did last year, and I feel that this is Jack Rhodes, and if it is, I can't wait to see what he's got in store for us, because this is just going to be even better than last year. If you didn't see the performance of the hacker, it's one of my favorite auditions of all time. Go and check it out. It's on BGT socials right now, and tell me down below, do you think that the hacker is Jack Rhodes? Because I think he is. Okay, also, we have some tricks. Now, when I mention tricks on Magic News, this is not a review. I haven't reviewed it. I've just seen that these have literally just dropped. I will plan on reviewing some of these, but I'm basing kind of what I'm saying off the ad copy and off the trailer. So first of all, Hypnosis by Tony Antonio and Chris Congreve is now available from both Chris's shop, Stellar Magic, Antonio's Mind Hacker, and it's a really cool prediction effect with a little leather holder and a poker chip, and it looks very cool. It looks really good. I believe that Chris released this at the Triple C convention, and I believe a lot of people have raved about it. I haven't seen it, but it looks amazing, and it's a great price. Knowing Tony, knowing Chris, this is going to be good. Also, we have a book that's come out called Concerning the Palming of Cards by John Galsworthy. This is a 180-page book, and it's all about how to palm cards properly. There's a lot of fuss about this. There's a lot of buzz about this, and pretty much every single palm that you could ever want is being treated in there. I had a look at the contents page. You've got steals, you've got side steals, you've got palms off the top, palms off the bottom, palms off the middle. They've pretty much covered absolutely everything. So if you struggle to palm and you want to know the exact correct technique to palm a card, it looks like Concerning the Palming of Cards is definitely the book that you want to pick up. Also, Intuito, the Pendulum Act, has been released by so if you don't know what the Pendulum Act is, the Pendulum Act is the idea of a pendulum is that you hold it's like a necklace basically. And the original idea of one of these is you can get the spectator to hold it and they can kind of find their own thing. It's for a lot of mind reading and so on and so forth. Well, Luca Volpe, who has created the Pendulum Act, Intuito, has been working with pendulums for many years, and he's brought out what he says is the final answer to pendulum routines. I know people like Jester Styles over here in the UK is a big pendulum user. If you're looking for information on a pendulum act, this looks like it could be great. Now, swinging over to Penguin Magic, we have Fine Imprint by Tim Troner. If you watch the trailer to Fine Imprint, you'll see that I'm on there. And the reason is, this is one of the routines that I filmed for Penguin Magic when I was over there in November, when I was filming the Penguin Holiday Special. I filmed the tutorial in the explanation for this as well. Basically, what Fine Imprint is it's really an American thing. You could get it out of America, but you'd have to kind of introduce the coin yourself. In America, you can borrow the coin. But basically, you get a bunch of pennies and a quarter, and they've all been printed with a card reveal, right? So they've actually been sort of they've had a card reveal printed into it, and you just can't tell until you know where to look. So the reason you get a bunch of them is because you can use them as giveaways. It's been cheap enough, it's been priced cheap enough, so you can actually give these away at gigs. And I've got a load of routines on the project for this. I've got a load of stuff that I went through, loads of different ways of doing this, including how to construct gaff decks to be actually kind of take this to the next level. It's really cool. The reactions that I actually got from this when I was over at Penguin were really, really strong. You know, a card reveal is strong in its own right, but when you combine a card reveal with borrowed coins, well, that's even stronger, right? Then the next trick that we've got coming out is Voodoo by Chris Congreve. So Voodoo is another Chris Congreve trick, which is basically a prediction of where the spectator chooses to stab somebody with a pin. And it's basically a packet trick. It's a very, very cool packet trick. Really nice premise. You know, I've always thought that the Voodoo plot is a great hook line, and this is a really fun idea. Then you've got the Universal Monster Collection, which is the next book in the Zanman book test line. So if you know the Zanman book test, which has the Pegasus page built into it, it's got the Opposites flashback principle built into it, the Mother of All book test built into it. Well, this is the latest version. It's the Universal Monster Collection, and that's available to buy now. And then finally, Instrumental by Penguin Magic, which is the latest release by Nicholas Mavresis and David Jonathan. An Instrumental is a gaffed, specially printed pack of cards that allows you to predict what song someone's going to pick from Spotify. Which is super awesome. I remember David Jonathan showing me this over Zoom and being blown away with it, like truly blown away. I thought it was brilliant. So those are the ones that stood out to me as the new tricks this week. Obviously, there's more tricks coming out this week than ever before. All the time, new magic's coming out, but these are the ones that kind of made me think, wow, that looks good. So that's magic news for this week. Guys, thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, if you've got some magic news, share it down below and I will get to it next week. Magic news should be back on the Tuesday next week, so we'll be back to our regularly scheduled time. But like I said, if you haven't seen the video that I did with Mark Bennett, please go and look at that, because your round is brilliant and you are going to see you know, you're going to see exactly what it is. I did an expose video explaining how everything works. Outside of that, I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.